the next thing I want to practice is emergency braking. Like I said, these are 16 to 18 feet. I believe these are like 18 feet. So I can use that line as a mark as I start to brake, and depending on how far, or if I stay in there, or how far I pass at 25, 30 miles an hour, then I'll know exactly how fast I'm going and how quickly I'm stopping by utilizing progressive braking. Again, it's a windy day, but that's all good. Let's let it go. So we pick a spot to start running. Second gear will come up here. Boom. So 18, about 23 feet. And then we'll go the other way. But that was about 20 miles an hour. I want to get to about 25. That's a little more past that. But it kind of gets you to understand your bike and how much time you need to stop. Boom, which is about the same as the last one, which is good because it's staying consistent. I know it's close to 25 feet, 26 feet. Yep, staying consistent, that's the main part. Very important to pay attention to that. Am I staying consistent? Yep, very consistent. So that progressive braking, I know that I'm progressively braking to the point where I'm not going to lose my front end or my rear end, which is what we want. Just like that. Beautiful practice, guys. I mean, you want to do this quite a bit. Emergency braking to me is probably the most important. Yep, see how we're staying still in the same realm, and we're going down back into first gear so we can take off. Now, another way to do that is emergency brake. So when you're emergency braking, and then take off. That's another good one to practice. So make that a habit when you're out riding. See if we can go. And then take off. There's many other ways to do things, but ultimately you really want to practice these kinds of things, because when you need them, you definitely want to have that muscle memory there so that you can utilize it. Doesn't matter if it's windy, rainy, you got to kind of practice this stuff, because if you don't, I'm telling you, you're going to get out there in the busy streets, somebody's going to pull out in front of you or pull out, it's going to scare you, and you're going to try to hit your brakes and you're going to grab them, and that front end's going to wash out, or you're going to hit that rear end and it's just going to lock up because you hit it so hard, and it's going to fishtail you and it's going to scare you. And the thing about that is, I've had that experience when I was out riding where cars have done that. I've had people pull out right in front of me going slow because it's very busy, and I've had to literally grab my front brake pretty quick but progressive fast. And yeah, you got to practice these things, because if you don't, I'm here to tell you from experience, when you get in that situation, it's going to scare you, and your adrenaline's going to go out the roof. And if you don't know how to control that and act under pressure, the chances of you actually wrecking are going to be pretty high. So for me, that's very important. One of the most important is right there, what I was doing with the emergency braking, and then the emergency brake, and then take off. And you take off as fast as you can, you know, and you just got to do what you got to do. But if you keep practicing it, you get to know your bike very well, and it'll keep you safer. Will it keep you to the point where people aren't going to be idiots on the street? No, but it'll definitely help you in a lot of different ways. And eventually, when you get good street strategy, what you're going to do is you're going to understand, when you're looking far ahead, potential situations, so you start positioning yourself to where you're actually going to be prepared. And that's the best thing, and that takes practice. It just doesn't come natural. So if people think it comes natural, I'm telling you, when you get in that situation where you're going to have to utilize your muscle memory and skill, you better practice. Stay vigilant and practice.